Time now to talk winners and losers on Wall Street. We have financial expert Rob Black joining us this morning. Rob, on the first day of April, stocks look good. All the indices are positive by, 200, 300, 400 points or more. I still see oil, though, still hovering around $100 or more. What's driving markets today?
You're smart, man. I give you credit. You've learned well, young sensei. So stocks are higher. Oil is not, and that brings up the question mark of why not. Trump is saying the war is close to being over. Iran is saying not so fast. Oil's saying we believe Iran more than the United States. But the president's going to address the nation tonight at 6 p.m. I would expect something positive. Stocks are trying to get ahead of that. It's nice to see. Trump said yesterday that we could be out of Iran in 2 to 3 weeks. Hopefully we accomplish what we needed to accomplish. Of note, 23 nations in Europe are getting together today to talk about what can we do about Straits of Hormuz if Trump leaves.
Right.
Because there's still a lot of questions.
Yeah, and, to be fair, we have heard him throw out that in about 2 or 3 weeks before for many other things, and 2 or 3 weeks come by and it's still another 2 or 3 weeks. So we'll have to see what he says tonight. Obviously, we're going to carry that live. Gas, meanwhile, still above $4 a gallon now, actually topping $4 a gallon in the national average.
Yeah, up to $4.02 nationally, and that's getting tied towards the high price of oil. It's interesting to note that California is all the way up to $5.86 a gallon, and some parts like in Napa yesterday I saw above $6. So it's pretty pervasive, and it dampens our economy. It doesn't crush it. So far, it's taken about $10 billion out of our consumer spending. So that's not great news, right? But we're a $1 trillion economy.
All right, let's end on a tech note. We mentioned earlier this morning that Apple now celebrating its 50th anniversary. I can't believe Apple's been around 50 years, but they've had so many innovations over the years, obviously, and as you and I have followed and covered them over the years, it always was fascinating whenever they had their conferences come around to see what Steve Jobs would unveil, what new tech would change our culture forevermore, and it's kind of wild to think about.
Yeah, I got the Apple product right here.
Right, there you go.
So 50 years ago today, they started 1976, Steve Jobs, Steve Wozniak, and Ronald Wolf, I believe his name was, Ronald Wayne. And he left the company a little bit too early.
Yeah.
So they've kicked out just a slew of culturally defining products. The Macintosh in 1984 was really their first major breakthrough. The iPod in 2001 when I started at Cron. The iPhone in 2007. The iPhone was a touch screen. The BlackBerry was doing great with their little phone, but it was all, typing, that kind of thing. So what do I need to say about this? It changed things because flip phones were the dominant players there. But texting got easier, calling got easier, searching the web got easier. Games on our phone, music on our phone. On top of that, it was just all one device. So
as a stock, I mean, they rarely had a miss. It's just constantly grown year over year.
Yeah, it made me a millionaire. $1,000 put into it in 1980 would be worth $2.6 million today.
Wow.
So it's nice to see. Now, the next 50 years, it'll probably be about home robots. It'll probably be about glasses and more wearables, medical devices. And they got to get AI right. Coming up this June, they've got a developers conference. We're going to see where they're going.
All right. We'll be waiting to see what they unveil next, Rob. Thank you, as always. We're going to chat with Rob again tomorrow. We've got his contact information there at the bottom of the screen, so let him know if there's a story or a topic you want him to touch on.